So the Biden administration is now passing new laws to be more green. However, they're going to cause us to pay more for things that we absolutely need. So I'm going to break down what this thing is, why the Biden administration is deciding to do that at this time, and why this is going to put more strain on you and millions of other Americans. So I'll break all that down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed these daily updates, and now let's begin. So this is absolute insanity. Why is the Biden administration passing new laws and trying to go green when everybody does not have money? We are struggling to keep up with our everyday bills, and yet the Biden administration doesn't care. Or do they? Well, according to President Biden, he says that he is actually going to fix America's housing affordability crisis. However, is what he is doing at the moment going to even work? Well, the answer is likely no. Look at this. It says American households' average monthly expenses is $6,081. This includes things like your rent or your mortgage, car payments, insurance, medication, food, utilities, and so much more. Well, I want to read a little bit of this to you, okay? Because right now, we are seeing millions and millions of households struggle. But why are they struggling? Right? Why? Well, let's just break it down. How much do you make every single month? For the majority of Americans, they're making about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So we make $4,000 to $5,000 a month, but yet our average monthly expenses is about $6,000. That doesn't add up. That math will never work. But the Biden administration has a plan. They're going to fix our housing crisis because right now it's an affordability issue. It's the fact that we don't have as many houses as we need. We don't have affordable homes. And then we're giving some of our homes and some of our resources to illegal immigrants coming into the United States. Well, that creates a problem. Well, look at this. Here's the big problem. Right now, the median home price in the United States, right now it's about $418,000. Back in 2023 of September 2023, it was about $412,000. For most people, they will never be able to afford a home that costs $400,000. It's just not possible. But here's the thing you need to understand. About 33% of your income is likely going to shelter. This is just your rent or your mortgage. This does not include utilities. This does not include maintenance. This is just your rent or your mortgage. That's it. Now, here's where things go from bad to worse. The Biden administration has now made this a law. Look at this. It says green housing mandates are pushing Americans more into the red. What does this mean? Well, here's what's going on. Based off of recent reports, it is now going to cost an extra $31,000 for a new home. $31,000. For most people, that's something that will never be able to happen. But look at this. It says, amid a cost of living crisis, renters today are paying more than ever in housing costs, with half of them reporting difficulty paying their rent on time. This one says, Americans need relief, not regulation, in their struggle to find affordable housing. Now, here's what you need to understand. This new mandate, according to the Biden administration, this is actually going to lower our bills. Look at this. It says, the mandates are being pushed through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD. And while they technically won't apply to all homes, all home builders will effectively be forced to comply with them. It says the Biden administration doesn't deny this higher upfront cost. It simply claims it'll pay for itself via lower energy bills. However, based off reports, the break-even point will be at 90 years. Let me just ask you this. How many of you plan to be in your home in the next 90 years? I can tell you right now, I would never raise my hand for that. Because just to give you an idea, let's say it takes 90 years to finally break even. Here's the problem. Nobody's going to care. Why would anybody care? Because even if I am buying a house at 18 years old, it takes me 90 years to actually recover those costs. I'm 108 years old. I don't think at 108 years old I'm worried about, did I make a good investment 90 years ago? I'm probably just worried about, did I wake up today? Am I able to eat anything? Can I move around? That's probably all I'm concerned with. Can I see? I'm not too concerned with, did I make a good investment 90 years ago? Probably not. Now I want to read this to you. Okay? It says, so if a young couple buys one of these new green energy homes and has a child 1 year later, the regulatory costs still won't have paid for themselves in that child's lifetime, let alone the life of the couple who bought it. It says, HUD argues that home builders will be able to get tax credits via the Inflation Reduction Act to offset some of these costs, with those savings hopefully passed along to home buyers. Here's the problem though. It says with those savings hopefully passed along to home buyers. If we have learned anything over the past 3 to 4 years, when there is a tax credit, and that will be a form of savings, let's say for automobiles, guess what? Some of those dealerships are not passing on the tax credits. They're not passing on the benefits to the buyer, to the end consumer. They're trying to take it all themselves. They're trying to make a little bit extra money. So you think in the real estate industry, you think some of these contractors, some of these home builders are going to pass along the profits to you? No, absolutely not. So when this article comes out and says that they hopefully will pass along to the home builder or the home buyer, well, guess what? It's probably not going to happen. It says, however, this is not a real reduction in costs. It's merely passing the buck to taxpayers. Instead of a home buyer bearing the full freight of these green energy mandates, some of the costs will be passed on to tax buyers, including renters. So the Biden administration has just said, you know what? I got you. I'm going to fix this real estate. I'm going to fix this affordable housing crisis that the U.S. is currently going through. No, I don't think they will. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be an issue. We're going to see prices go up. And again, if home builders are going to have to put in an additional $31,000 on average, that means some homes are going to cost a little bit less. They're not going to go up as much. Other homes, unfortunately, could potentially go up $50,000, $100,000, depending on what the total value of that home actually is. So keep this in mind. These property upgrades that are now required by law, well, you're going to be screwed because, again, they are mandating that these are put into effect now. But guess what? You're never going to reap the reward of that because you won't be alive in the next 90 years. Think about this one. Remember when you walk into, let's say, a Home Depot or a Lowe's, and you see that new refrigerator, you see that new washer and dryer, you see that new dishwasher, and that dishwasher says savings, $400. Wonderful. I'm going to save $400 off this dishwasher. No, that savings is actually, it's an energy efficiency savings. So because it's more energy efficient, it's going to save you about $400 from the life of that unit, from that dishwasher. Guess what? That dishwasher is going to last about 10 years maybe. So it's going to save you about $40 a year. But yet it's going to cost you an additional $400 to $500 in order to buy it. Does that make sense? Because this is something that I had so many salesmen try to tell me when I was going to buy a oven. They're like, you gotta get this one. It's the perfect one right here. It's gonna save you about $800. It's more energy efficient. Okay, great. So it's more energy efficient. Wonderful. What does that do for me? Because I don't plan on being in my home for the next 30 years. I just don't. They're like, nah, it's good. You probably need to buy a new one in like 10 to 12 years. Honestly, I've never lived in a place where I had a oven that lasted more than 10 years. Okay? Not that I've ever lived in a single place for more than 10 years, but the thing was there. It's like, oh, this is from 2005. Okay, by 2010, need a new one. It's only 5 years. It's only 5 years. So that's the issue, is that right now we're being told and sold this bill of goods that, again, it's complete fabrication. Because here's what's going on. We're overpaying for things because, again, this is conserving energy. We're conserving energy here. That's why we're paying more. But again, keep in mind that these new laws, these new property upgrades, you will never see the benefits of them. You will never see that, okay, that was a good investment, because you will probably not be around by that time. So just want to leave you with that, but just understand at this time, this is now law. That now these home builders have to come in, provide some additional green benefits here. These are now mandates. And guess what? They're coming after your money. They're coming after your wallet, coming after your savings account, because they can, because the Biden administration just did that. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I'll be here every step of the way, and I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.